very good morning to one and all. It gives me immense pleasure to deliver the welcome address on behalf of the management of All Saints High School and the Social Studies Department. Today marks a special occasion. The Model United Nations Assembly, MUNA 2025, presented by the talented students of classes 9 and 10. We have gathered here to witness our young delegates showcase their oratory skills, confidently expressing their views and ideas while learning the art of discussion, diplomacy, and understanding the functioning of the United Nations organization. We are honored to have amongst us our chief guest, Dr. Mohammad Akhtar Ali, Senior Assistant Professor and accomplished alumnus of our school, Department of Geography, Assistant Professor, University College of Science, Osmania University. With 22 years of dedicated teaching experience, Dr. Mohammad Akhtar Ali has contributed immensely to the field of geography, specializing in soil studies, remote sensing, and GIS, teaching both undergraduate and postgraduate students, including distance education programs. He holds a PhD in geography and several other distinguished academic qualifications, including a postgraduate diploma in cartography and a master's in Persian. His professional journey also includes key roles such as election committee member and interview board member for Jammu and Kashmir and Jharkhand Public Service Commissions. He is also the recipient of many awards and has edited and written many books to his credit. His expertise and dedication truly reflect the words of Albert Einstein. Only a life lived for others is a life worthwhile. Sir, we are truly privileged to have you with us today in our school, in your institution. Kindly accept this sapling as a token of our gratitude and respect. A warm welcome to you, sir. We are also blessed with the presence of our visionary leader, Brother Vincent Mendonza, Rector of All Saints High School, whose constant guidance and support have created opportunities to mold our students into responsible and confident citizens of India. A warm welcome to you, dear brother. Kindly accept this sapling as a mark of our appreciation. We extend a heartfelt welcome to Brother Sliva Reddy, our primary superintendent, a humble and dedicated leader whose wealth of experience continues to inspire and guide our institution forward. A very pleasant welcome, dear brother. A special welcome to Ms. Suchita Kiran, our General Coordinator, whose efforts in planning, organizing, and monitoring academic programs are invaluable to the success of our school initiatives. Kindly accept the sapling as a symbol of our heartfelt welcome. A warm welcome to all the delegates representing different countries. Your enthusiasm and participation in this MUNA reflect your commitment to learning and global understanding. We hope you seize this opportunity to debate, discuss, and dream of a better tomorrow. And to our audience, your presence encourages and inspires our students as they take on the roles of future diplomats and leaders. As Malala Yousafzai reminds us, let us make our future now and let us make our dreams tomorrow's reality. May today's proceedings spark new ideas, foster collaboration, and nurture the values of peace, unity, and leadership among all of us. Once again, a warm and hearty welcome to everyone present here.
Formally begin the proceedings of this global simulation.
Thank you. Honorable Secretary General, Madam President, delegates, esteemed guests and audience, a very good morning to you. Before we begin with the formal proceedings of today, I would like to highlight the founding ideals of UNO. The UNO is committed to maintaining international peace and security, upholding human rights, respecting international laws, and promoting social progress, achieving international cooperation and being in center for harmonizing the actions of nations. The UN Assembly provides a unique opportunity for nations, regardless of their size or power, to have their voices heard and contribute to shaping the course of international affairs. To formally commence this significant session, I now invite the Secretary General to take the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson. Honorable Chairs, distinguished delegates, esteemed guests and fellow audience. It is my great honor to stand before you to introduce one of the most pivotal and impactful gatherings in the world, the United Nations General Assembly. We all gather at a time when our world faces urgent challenges: the growing threat of climate change, the fragile state of global peace and security, and the ongoing fight for gender equality. These are not just global issues, they are personal and they affect every generation, especially ours. In this room, you will debate, negotiate, and imagine solutions. But remember, the true purpose of diplomacy is not to win arguments, but to build understanding, stand for justice, and give voice to the unheard. Let this Muna be a model not just of the United Nations, but of the world we all hope to create: fairer, safer, and even more sustainable for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary General. To mark the official beginning of this dynamic and diplomatic journey, I now invite the one who embodies the spirit of leadership and global vision. It is my privilege to request the President of the General Assembly to step forward to deliver the inaugural speech, to shed some light on UNO and declare the Model United Nations Assembly open.
Honorable chairs, distinguished delegates, and esteemed guests, as the President of this General Assembly, I welcome you all to this plenary session, where we bring the voices and ideas of all the nations gathered here today. The United Nations, also known as an intergovernmental organization, was established on October 24, 1945. It is a multi-purpose organization with global reach and wide membership. Its headquarters are located in New York, USA, and its official languages are Arabic, Chinese, English, French, Russian, and Spanish. The UN remains committed for a safer, sustainable, and equitable world for all. As we delve into the discussions and deliberations that shape our global future, let us embrace the spirit of unity and understanding that defines the United Nations General Assembly. I now declare the United Nations General Assembly open. I now call upon the chairperson to inform the delegates about the procedure of the Model United Nations Assembly.
Thank you, Madam President. The United Nations organization, founded in the aftermath of World War II, stands as a beacon of hope and collaboration in a world striving for peace, development, and progress. It is a forum where nations can debate matters of global significance, from climate change and conflict resolution to health crisis and economic development. As we gather here today, let us remember that the General Assembly is a testament to the power of international collaboration. It is a reminder that despite our differences, we share a common responsibility to create a better world for current and future generations. Before we proceed, I request all the delegates to stand and observe a minute of silence in remembrance of the victims of war, poverty, terrorism, and discrimination. Requesting the gathering to kindly stand. Kindly be seated. We shall now begin the procedural phase of Model United Nations Assembly. The delegates must clearly mention the status. Kindly respond with roll call with either present, attending but may abstain from voting, present and voting, attending and will vote on all issues. As per rule number 19 of General Proceedings, all items proposed for inclusion in the agenda must be accompanied by an explanatory memorandum and supporting documents. Let the roll call begin. Tanzania.
Present and voting.
Bhutan.
Present and voting.
Bolivia.
Present and voting.
Myanmar.
Present and voting.
Uganda.
Present and voting.
USA.
Present and voting.
There are 24 delegates here, 4 delegates representing one country each. Let us now proceed. Are there any points in motion on the floor at this time? Seeking none, the first order of list is for the committees that will be on the main speakers list. Are there any motions regarding speakers' time?
Yes, Mr. Chairperson. Tanzania proposes that for the motion, the speaker's time be 6 minutes.
Thank you, Tanzania. All those in favor, please raise your placards now. Speaker's time is set at 6 minutes. Those who wish to be on speaker's list, please raise your placards now. Are there any motions on Tanzania?
Yes, Mr. Chairperson. The delegates from Tanzania, Bhutan, Myanmar and Bolivia wish to raise concerns of their country in the motion.
The floor is now open for motions. Delegates of Tanzania, Bhutan, Bolivia and Myanmar have raised concerns on the agenda. The motion is in order. As Tanzania proposed the motion, you may take the floor first. Do Bhutan, Bolivia and Myanmar recognize Tanzania's speaking time for 6 minutes? Delegates of Tanzania, you may have the floor now.
Honorable Chairperson, distinguished delegates, esteemed guests and fellow participants, a very warm greeting to all. Today, I have the distinct honor of representing the beautiful and vibrant nation of Tanzania, a land of vast savannas, resilient people and rich cultural legacy. Welcome to a nation where heritage meets hope and diversity is not just respected but also celebrated. Nestled in East Africa, Tanzania is surrounded by 8 countries and is blessed with a breathtaking coastline along the Indian Ocean. Its geographical canvas is so inspiring. From the majestic snow-capped peaks of Mount Kilimanjaro, the highest in Africa, to the serene islands of Zanzibar, Tanzania is a natural treasure trove. The nation gained independence from the British colonial rule in 1961 under the visionary leadership of Julius Nyerere. The nation's journey from slavery to self-governance is a story of resilience, unity, and determination. Today, Tanzania stands as a symbol of stability and peace in the African continent. Tanzania is a mosaic of over 120 ethnic groups, each with its own language, customs, and traditions, yet all coexisting harmoniously. Swahili, the national language, serves as a unifying thread.
Tanzania's economy is primarily agrarian, with agriculture employing over 65% of the population. The nation is rich in resources including gold, diamonds, and tanzanite, a gemstone found exclusively in Tanzania. The tourism sector has flourished, drawing global visitors to its pristine national parks and exotic wildlife. Tanzanian youth are being encouraged to innovate, explore, and engage in global dialogue. The nation's Vision 2025 aims to transform Tanzania into a middle income country, driven by industrialization and human capital development. Tanzania is a proud member of African Union, the East African Community, and the United Nations, known for its diplomatic stability and non-aligned policy. Tanzania has often served as a voice of reason and peace in African affairs. Its foreign policy is anchored in mutual respect, sovereignty, and solidarity.
Thank you, delegates from Tanzania. Delegates from Bhutan, you may have the floor now.
Good morning, distinguished delegates, esteemed chairs, and fellow audience. I stand before you today as the representative of Bhutan, a voice for happiness, sustainability, and peace. Bhutan, the peaceful Himalayan kingdom, often admired for its unique development philosophy. Bhutan may be small in size and population, but its voice for the global community is strong, advocating for sustainable living and environmental stewardship. Bhutan's history is deeply rooted in Buddhism, first introduced in the 7th century and firmly established by Guru Padmasambhava in the 8th. In the 17th century, Zabdrung Ngawang Namgyal unified its nation and established a dual system of governance. The monarchy established in the 1907 has guided Bhutan through modernization while preserving its cultural and spiritual identity.
Bhutan is a landlocked country located in the eastern Himalayas, bordered by India and China. With over 70% forest cover, it is one of the few carbon negative countries in the world. Its population is around 8 lakhs, mostly living in rural areas. Thimphu, the capital, is the hub of administration and culture, while other towns like Paro and Punakha hold great historical and spiritual significance. Bhutan's terrain is mostly mountainous and rich in timber, hydropower, and minerals like gypsum and limestone. Hydropower, generated by many fast-flowing rivers, is the country's major export and economic lifeline.
Thank you, delegates from Bhutan. Delegates from Bolivia, you may have the floor now.
Good morning, distinguished delegates, esteemed chairs, and my fellow audience. I stand before you today as the representative of the plurinational state of Bolivia, a land of resilience, diversity, and natural beauty. The plurinational state of Bolivia, named after the liberator Simon Bolivar, gained independence from the Spanish colonial rule in 1825 after a determined freedom struggle. Before colonization, Bolivia was the cradle of ancient indigenous civilizations like the Tiwanaku and Incas, whose cultural legacies still thrive.
Bolivia is a landlocked nation in the heart of South America, bordered by Chile, Peru, Paraguay, Brazil, and Argentina. It covers over 1.1 million square kilometer and holds ethnically diverse landscapes, from soaring ants and vast altiplano to lush Amazon basins. Its population is a vibrant mixture of indigenous mestizo and Afro-Bolivian communities, with over 50% of identifying indigenous, making Bolivia one of the most ethnically diverse countries in Latin America. Despite being landlocked, Bolivia is blessed with abundant natural resources, including natural gas, silver, tin, and lithium, a metal now in global demand for clean energy storage. Its economy heavily relies on mining, energy exports, and agriculture, with economic growth center cities like Santa Cruz, while La Paz and Sucre remain important administrative cultural centers.
Thank you, delegates from Bolivia. Delegates from Myanmar, you may have the floor now.
Honorable Chairperson, esteemed delegates, and respected guests, it is a true honor to represent the Republic of the Union of Myanmar, a land of timeless beauty, golden pagodas, and deep spiritual heritage. Myanmar's history dates back to the powerful ancient kingdoms like Bagan, known for its thousands of temples. Over the centuries, Myanmar has witnessed the rise of great dynasties, colonial rule under the British Empire, and has proudly achieved independence in 1948. The heart of Myanmar beats with the teachings of Buddhism, shaping the daily lives, values, and traditions of its people. Rich in culture, art, and festivals, Myanmar is not just a nation. It is a living story of resilience, faith, and unity. I'm proud to stand here today as I'm proud to stand here today as a representative of Myanmar, a country moving forward with hope, strength, and dignity.
Myanmar is strategically located in Southeast Asia, forming a vital link between South Asia and East Asia. Myanmar shares its borders with India and Bangladesh to the west, China to the north and northeast, and to the south, Myanmar opens the Bay of Bengal and Andaman Sea, giving it access to important maritime routes. This location doesn't just make Myanmar a bridge between cultures, but also gives it a great importance in regional trade and politics.
Thank you, delegates from Myanmar. Do the voting countries have any issues to be presented? Delegates of Tanzania, you may have the floor first.
Despite steady growth, income inequalities remain prevalent, particularly between the urban and rural regions. A significant portion of the population lives below the poverty line, lacking access to basic services. Rural livelihoods are still subsistence-based, and Tanzania faces a shortage of medical professionals, infrastructure, and essential medicines, especially in the rural areas. Diseases like malaria, HIV, and AIDS continues to pose a significant health threat. Healthcare facilities are disproportionately low, limiting universal access. While primary education has expanded, the quality of education still remains a concern. Dropout rates, especially among the girls in the secondary education, remains high due to early marriage and poverty. Youth unemployment is rising due to limited job creation, mismatch between education and market needs.
Tanzania is facing deforestation, water scarcity, and land degradation due to over-reliance on natural resources. Climate variability affects agriculture, threatening food security and livelihoods. Limited resources for sustainable adaptation strategies increases vulnerability. Although progress has been made, gender-based discrimination still persists in areas like education, inheritance rights, and political representation.
Although Tanzania enjoys political stability, bureaucratic inefficiencies and corruption continue to impede development. As a host to refugees from neighboring conflict zones, Tanzania is facing humanitarian and logistical challenges in maintaining refugee camps and integrating displaced populations. Cross-border tensions occasionally arise due to illegal migration and smuggling. Agriculture, employing over 65% of the population, is heavily rain dependent and vulnerable to climate shocks. The lack of modern farming techniques and market access keeps the productivity low. The lack of widespread internet connectivity and digital infrastructure limits innovation, e-governance, and modern education access. Though these challenges are formidable, they are far from insurmountable. Through collaborative international engagement, accountable governance, and the dynamic potential of the empowered youth, Tanzania can transform its adversities into enduring triumphs. The global community must stand not as an observer, but as a steadfast partner in Tanzania's pursuit of equitable and sustainable progress. Let us join hands in resolute solidarity, ensuring that Tanzania not only perseveres but also flourishes through strategic global alliances. Thank you.
Thank you, delegates from Tanzania. Delegates from Bhutan, you may have the floor now.
Despite this achievement, Bhutan faced considerable challenges. Difficult in building roads, schools and hospitals, costly and slowly, especially in remote areas. Youth unemployment is growing concern, with limited opportunities outside agriculture and government jobs. And as globalization and tourism increase, Bhutan is under pressure to preserve its cultural identity. The United Nations have been a vital development partner in Bhutan's transformation journey. From health to education, infrastructure to gender equality, the UN agencies have made a measurable difference. Bhutan's development is a partner of modelship, a small country with strong values working alongside global institutions to build a better future for its people.
Help Bhutan seeks from the UNO. Bhutan seeks continuous collaboration from the UNO in climate action, especially protection of glaciers and forests, youth empowerment and digital education, promoting mental health care and well-being of the country, supporting rural livelihoods and women's economic participations, and fostering inclusive growth rooted in happiness and sustainability. In conclusion, Bhutan stands as a global example where tradition can coexist. It balances economical and environmental happiness together equally. Our voice to United Nations is not just only for prosperity, but also for peace, compassion, and the planet. Thank you.
Thank you, delegates from Bhutan. Delegates from Bolivia, you may have the floor now.
Challenges and needs. Like other developing nations, Bolivia faces challenges such as poverty, particularly in rural and indigenous areas, health and educational gaps, environmental degradation, including deforestation and water scarcity, climate vulnerability affecting agriculture and biodiversity, limited access to global trade due to its landlocked status. These challenges demand both local resolve and international cooperation.
Bolivia has greatly benefited from the UN partnerships. Agencies such as UNDP have supported poverty alleviation and institutional development. UNICEF has enhanced maternal and child health, education and nutrition. FAO has supported sustainable agriculture and food security. UN Women have promoted gender equality. UNESCO has helped Bolivia to preserve its culture and heritage. Bolivia now seeks continued and strengthened UN support in the following aspects: sustainable lithium extraction, balancing economic growth with ecological protection and indigenous rights, expanded access to better education, especially to indigenous communities and girls, climate resilience programs focusing on agriculture, water management and deforestation prevention,
from Bolivia. Delegates from Myanmar, you may have the floor now.
Myanmar faces a complex web of challenges, including long-standing civil war, political instability, human rights concern, and environmental challenges. Myanmar faces severe environmental challenges that the UN and international community aim to address. Key issues include rapid deforestation due to logging, agricultural expansion leading to biodiversity loss, and increased vulnerability to natural disasters. Water pollution is prevalent from industrial discharge, mining, and agricultural runoff, impacting public health and ecosystem.
The UN's engagement in Myanmar is multifaceted, aiming to alleviate suffering and promote stability amidst ongoing crisis. We request the UN to step up its support for Myanmar, working with local communities and international communities to implement sustainable solutions and protect the country's ongoing and, and protect the country's political instability. The UN, through agencies like UNEP and UNDP, has provided support for sustainable development, climate change adaptation, and environmental governance. The UN, Human Rights Council, and other bodies consistently monitor and report on human rights violations, pushing for accountability for atrocities committed by the military. The Myanmar urges the international community to acknowledge the grave situation in Myanmar. The UN must press for an end to violence, restoration of democracy and humanitarian crisis, while also supporting communities for addressing the accelerating environmental degradation. Coordinator international action is crucial to prevent further. We respectfully request the United Nations to address the ongoing human rights violations and ensure the protection of civilians and support a peaceful democratic transition. Thank you.
Thank you, delegates from Myanmar. Is there any motion on the floor for the closing speeches?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, Bhutan wants to propose the closing of speeches.
The motion is in order. All those in favor for the closing of the discussion, please raise your placards now. The motion again passes. Are there any points on the motion at this time?
Yes, Mr. Chairperson. Tanzania wants to go for a resolution on the issues of healthcare infrastructure and education in our countries. Not Bhutan and Bolivia, but all the countries that have participated in the discussion on the agenda.
The motion is in order. Recognizing the importance of inclusive growth, all the countries have resolved to collaborate and have appealed to international community to prioritize investment in quality education and healthcare infrastructure worldwide. According to rule number 19 of general proceedings, any item proposed for inclusion in the agenda must be accompanied by supporting memorandum and explanatory documents. We shall now move to voting on the resolution. All those in favor, please raise your placards now. All the countries have resolved to cooperate internationally to address the issue, lack of access to healthcare and quality education. We now invite the international press to conduct a short press conference. You may take the floor now.
Delegates of Myanmar, press has a few questions for you. What immediate UN help is needed to address escalating water and air pollution impacting public health and critical ecosystems?
Immediate UN support is needed for water purification systems, public health campaigns for environmental monitoring, and waste management solutions.
Given Myanmar's climate vulnerability, how can the UN assist in strengthening resilience to extreme weather events like cyclones and floods?
The UN can assist by early warning system, funding resilient infrastructure and climate smart agriculture to protect vulnerable communities.
Delegates of Bhutan, press has some questions for you. Delegates, despite the achievements of Bhutan, what are the problems faced by your country?
Despite the achievements, Bhutan faced considerable challenges, difficult in building roads, schools and hospitals. As globalization and tourism increase, Bhutan is under pressure to preserve its cultural identity.
What does help Bhutan seek from UNO? Bhutan has sought continuous collaboration from the UNO in climate action and protection of glaciers and forests, youth empowerment and digital education, and fostering inclusive growth rooted in happiness and sustainability.
Delegates of Tanzania, press has few questions for you. What is the major economic challenge Tanzania is facing?
Unemployment is the major economic challenge Tanzania is facing. This has led to increased poverty levels and a rise in informal sector jobs with less wages and no job security.
What is the most pressing issue that needs UNO's help?
We respectfully seek the support of the United Nations in building climate resilience, improving sustainable agricultural practices, and protecting our vulnerable communities.
Delegates of Bolivia, press have some questions for you. What are the economic challenges faced by Bolivia and how do they impact the country's development?
Bolivia faces challenges such as poverty and inequality. These issues affect the country's economic and social growth.
How does Bolivia's geographic and natural resources affect its economy and environment?
Bolivia's diverse geography and rich natural resources are both a blessing and a curse. While they provide economic opportunities, they also pose environmental challenges and create conflicts over resource management.
Now puts into motion voting for recess. Tanzania, would you like to move voting for recess?
Yes, Mr. Chairperson, we move for recess.
The motion is in order. All those in favor, please raise your placards now. The motion passes. This session is now in recess. Thank you everyone present here. Secretary General to take the floor for closing speech.
Peace, development, and human rights are mutually reinforcing. We cannot achieve one without the other. I believe sooner or later that all the people in the world will have to decide a way to live together in peace and harmony. So let us shoulder the responsibility of creating a peaceful world with courage, compassion, and commitment. Thank you, chairs and delegates.
I now request the President of the General Assembly to declare the Model United Nations Assembly adjourned.
With the successful completion of today's proceedings, this session is now adjourned. May our debates today be the solutions of tomorrow. I now declare the Model United Nations Assembly closed. Thank you, everyone.
It is an honor to invite our chief guest, Dr. Mohammad Akhtar Ali, to address the gathering. A distinguished personality whose journey stands as an inspiration to all of us.
Good morning, Honorable Chairperson, Secretary General, and President of United Nations, all the countries present here in this hall, all the delegates present here. I feel privileged and honored in attending this assembly for the simple reason that in my university, I have helped one student from, what's that country? Fiji Island. She is now working in United Nations, and Last month she has sent a message to me telling that if she is in a position to invite anybody in United Nations, she said in maybe 5 years or 10 years, she's going to invite me. So I feel privileged that before she has invited me, Brother and All Saints has invited me into United Nations. Thank you.